Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Estevan Motor Speedway. My name is Trevor Gowan, your announcer for this afternoon. It is the final event of the 2021 season here at the Speedway, and this one is so much fun. It's inexpensive and it's fun. Like, what's wrong with that? It's the annual Enduro. Now, this year was pretty cool because we actually ran a spring Enduro, and this one, of course, being the end of summer Enduro. We have just over 50 cars, and this is going to be fun because these are not professional drivers. These are not race cars. They've got some safety equipment in it, and chances are they are like $300, $400, $500 cars, and that's what you're going to see racing here today. Over 50 of them. 1.5 hours or 150 laps, whatever comes first, and you're watching it all here on maxTV, local on demand. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's 01 Sean de Bruin out in front in that red Grand Prix. Sean has ran this race several times before, and he found a good car. Those Pontiac Grand Prix have a big V6 and a 3.8 liter V6 automatic transmission and front wheel drive. We'll just see if he can keep it alive for the next hour and a half. Number 5, Dallas Warner, second position in that silver Monte Carlo, followed by the 3 of Jared Story. The 7 back there, that's the Vertex Resource Services. Looks like a Grand Marquis. We've already got a mess down in the bottom of corner number 2. Looks like car number 30 is out of commission already. Evan Erdman got down in the bottom. I know in the past, in these Enduro races, they have left the stalled cars on the track as a bit of an obstacle. It's like dodging potholes in Estevan. Except a stalled car sometimes is smaller. You see, with all that water on the track, it has gotten slippery. The front-wheel drive cars will have an advantage at this point until that track dries out a little bit. We got trouble with the 13 down there in the bottom. Kyle Boyce in the big Chevy Caprice. Corner number 2, he's making his way down the back straightaway now, trying to get her wound up. There is a lot of traffic out there. Look in corner number 4, that yellow 10 sitting the wrong way. Levi Hirsch, a big old Ford. That is a huge obstacle. Bam! Got him right in the trunk. Number 38 with a little nudge. Rob James shortening up his car a lot. You get a good shot of it down in front of the grandstands right now. If your therapist has told you to work out your aggression, this might be the perfect platform to do that on. Working on your road rage, trying to manage your anger. What an unreal mix of machinery. I'm gonna say from the mid-70s, maybe like 77. I think that's the oldest car I've seen here so far, all the way up to the early 2000s. You're talking a lot of different technology. Oh, look at this, number 11 coming out of corner number 4. That right front is exposed. Look at that tire hanging out. Is that a Dodge Neon on the 11 of Jackson Cairns? Looks like a Grand Am, pardon me. The 11 of Jackson Cairns stalled out. I think he's broke right down there in the front straightaway. Smoke out of the number 41, the big Olds 98. Look at that thing. James Pear. Usually the blue smoke is an indication of oil burning. I think that looks like metal on tire right there. That right quarter panel is way too close to that tire, and that's not going to help that tire last very long because the tire is going to wear out long before that quarter panel does. James Perrin, the number 41, wheeling that big Olds off into the pits. Gonna do a little beautification to the right rear on that car, and the old sledgehammer's gonna come out, make that wheel well opening a little bit wider. How about that big yellow taxi? Left front, down, that's the number 42. The pilot is Dylan Crozier. Dylan's a former stock car driver out here at the Estevan Motor Speedway, so he is no stranger to this track. Usually had a car that handled a lot better than that Crown Victoria he's wheeling though. So it looks like they have elected to leave the stalled cars on the track for obstacle purposes. Always more entertaining, and sometimes you can save your car for next year, but if it's in the wrong spot, somebody hits it, there's a good chance that car is going right to tip-top medals when this is all over and done with. We got another one stalled out in the back straightaway, right at the exit of corner number 2. Todd Dougal, I believe, car number 19. Looks like he got a dirty swat at the back end, shorten up the trunk on that car. How about that 6 of Mike Zoner? Is that a Mustang? Seriously, he found an old Mustang to throw out here in an enduro race? I don't know about you, but I want to be down there driving one of these cars right about now. That looks like so much fun. Such a good time. There's a 21 of Wiggly out in front. Mason Wiggly behind the wheel on that one. The Elephant Ear Emporium, if you're familiar with that, they're providing the food here this afternoon, and big sponsors of the 21 and the 20 cars. 3 wide down the front straightaway. That 01 of De Bruyn, look at him sliding that Grand Prix into corner number 1. Did you ever try and drive down Albert Street at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon? Kind of the same thing. And I'm talking Albert Street in Regina. Dylan Crozier in that 42, that left front tire has been flat for at least 5 laps now. And somehow that car is still finding its way around the track. Number 46 on the move, working his way up through the field. Roddy Mitchell, no stranger to the Estevan Motor Speedway. Making his way down the back straightaway. Things pretty tame so far. Just these drivers trying to hold on to their cars. The endurance part of the enduro race. Hang on, we got flames coming out of the bottom of that 48. Was it just me or was there fire? Jace De Bruyn, number 48. There's smoke coming out of that car. There's more and more smoke coming out of that car. They do have a hole cut in the hood in case of an issue like this. That way the safety crew can get over there and they can put that fire out with a fire extinguisher. Thankfully, they do have that access hole in the hood. And I believe he has made his way to the pits. Yeah, Jace De Bruyn at 48 off to the pits. Hopefully they can cure whatever's causing the flames in that car. How about that number 26? Is that a pig on the roof of Dylan Coffey's car? Fantastic. If you're going to have a pink car, why not have a pig on the roof for your number plate? There's a good shot of that left front tire, the number 42 of Dylan Crozier, still hanging on. Dustin Schertle in the number 91, another Mustang out on the track. There are a lot of new late model cars out here. Uh-oh, trouble for the 21 of Mason Wigley, right front tire coming off of the rim on the 21. Now we talked about Dylan Crozier and his big yellow taxi and his left front tire coming off. Well, Dylan's car's a rear wheel drive. That means all the power goes to the ground via the back tires. So not a big deal if the left front is flat. It's just going to steer really bad. But in the case of Mr. Wigley's car, it is front wheel drive, and that means the front tires provide the power to the ground. And when you're only running on one tire, that's going to take you out of the race. Mason Wigley off into the pits in that number 21. Got a tire change coming up. That is a 20 of Dean Wigley, big Pontiac Bonneville. This far into the race and only a few cars laying dead in the water on the track. I tell you, if you're one of those drivers, that's sort of a good place to watch the race, but not the best place to watch the race from. Good shot of the cars coming out of corner number 4. You can see how slippery that track still is with all that moisture in there. It's doing its job, though. We're keeping the dust down. When you come out of corner number 1, and if you're driving down low, there is that car dead at the bottom of corner number 2, so you come up a little bit, and just as you're coming out of corner number 2, there's another car sitting sideways right at the entrance to the back straightaway. So hopefully after a couple of laps you got it figured out. If you want to get through there unscathed, you got to run a higher line on this racetrack. Major smoke out of the 48, Jace DeBruin. He's back on the track, but I don't see any flames this time. Another Pontiac Grand Prix in the DeBruin family. Caution comes out. We may do a little inversion here, or maybe just some track cleanup and get some of these dead horses off of the track. Let's look back. maxTV local on-demand replay. Smoke, and bending up steel. That number 10, Levi Hirsch, got hit hard coming out of the corner. Dylan Crozier in the big yellow taxi taking the shortcut through the infield. And when a car stalls out and there's no way around it, you got to go into it. All right, everybody back into the infield. We may send them out in the opposite direction here. We're just going to do a little track cleanup. All right, Aaron Turnbull, race director and president of the Estevan Motor Speedway, gives them the signal, head back out onto the track, but you are going the wrong way this time. Now, one of the reasons they do this is because if you know which way that car is going, you can set it up differently. Like you'll adjust the suspension, you'll adjust the wheel alignment. There's little tweaks you can make, maybe moving some of the weight around in the car. But when you don't know which way you're going, yeah, you can't really do much to that one. Trouble for the 10 of Levi Hirsch already. Off into the infield in that big old Ford. You remember at the start of this race, he went sideways coming out of corner number 4. Enrico Unruh joining us back on the track in the number 28. Number 43, that's Dylan Jones making his way back out here. The 16 joining us again, Dustin Kennedy. The entrance is a little bit different. It's pretty tough to merge in a situation where you're going to hang a hard left like that. Dylan Crozier, the big yellow taxi, number 42, waiting to get back out on the track. The 33 right behind him, piloted by Colton Dodd. Crozier gets back onto the track. Dodd trying to find an easy way as they come out of corner number 1 down the front straightaway. As the track dries out, you'll notice the speeds have increased quite a bit. Sometimes the confidence gets cranked up in behind the steering wheel as well, and always plays a factor in this. Hang on, we get a car going over the top of corner number 1. Got it back under control. That is the number 8 of Brandy Janicki. Car number 55 spun out in corner number 3. Brant Hudson behind the wheel. Brant backs over a tire, trying to get out of harm's way, and maybe hung up on that tire. No problem. Puts her in D, and away we go. Look at that number 37. That I believe it's a Chevy Impala, or what's left of an Impala. Danny James. He's got parts hanging off of that car, the front, the back, the side, all over the place. Dallas Warner in that number 5, the silver Monte Carlo, having a little battle with the 36 as they roll through the corners. Caitlin Alexander behind the wheel of the 36. Look at this. Like 5, 6 wide coming out of corner number 1. These drivers have got this figured out already. Dustin Schertl in the number 91, that Ford Mustang. Remember being 16 years old and having one of those on the I want list? I bet you Dustin will sell that one cheap after today is done. Dwayne McKnight in that 14. He's got that big chunk of steel up on the roof for the number plate. Like some galvanized metal roofing, works perfectly, and maybe to his advantage, might act as a wing like they run on the sprint cars. Putting the downforce on that machine holding her to the track. There it is as he rolls down the front straightaway. Big old Ford coming up on some trouble in corner number 4. I'm going to call that car number 37, I believe. Looked like it was Danny James stalled out in corner number 4. Got it running and out of the way. Could have been Jake Porter at number 47 as well. There's a shot of that Impala with all the parts hanging off of it. Those plastic bumpers do not like to stay on these cars. They get hit a couple of times, the clips break, and pretty soon they're dragging all over the track. Mike Zoner in the number 6, the other Mustang, that's the blue and white one, coming down the front straightaway. Got her dialed in. That car's working really well out here this afternoon. Battle between Dallas Warner and the number 5 and that big green Impala next to him. All the smoke coming out of the number 29 right now. Trey Olson in the number 29. I'm thinking he's got a tire that's about to be cut down as the body sheet metal is rubbing up against it. There you can see Olson. Oh yeah. Smoke coming out of the 29. Left rear tire not doing so well. Crozier in the 42 battling with the 47 as they head down the back straight coming into corner number 2. We're going to go 4 wide coming through the corner down the front straight now. Crozier in that 42 pulls away from the rest of the field. Little bit of experience paying off right there. Sean Boyce making his way out onto the track in the number 51. And more smoke coming off of the 29 of Olson. I don't know how that tire's hung on for so long. Trey Olson, number 29. Doing a little fogging out there. Dylan Gonis, props going to him for stealing somebody's big old Lincoln and painting the old the shark teeth on the side of it. That's a fantastic looking car. Looks like an old fighter plane. Very well done. The Gonis family, no strangers to racing. Whether it's at the Estevan Motor Speedway or in the kart days, back before they got to the dirt. Red flag is out. That means we're going to stop this one. We may send them all into the infield and get things twisted and turned around again. Greg Mann, our flag man, as I said, one of the members of the Estevan Motor Speedway and a longtime racer here. Looking back at the replay on maxTV, local on demand, man, we just narrowly avoided some major incidents out there. Like I said, that track starts to dry up a little bit. They start going a little faster, pushing it a little harder, and flying around that track. The number 8 there, Brandy Janicki, when Brandy went over the top of corner number 1, got back onto the track before getting into any trouble. Number 29 of Trey Olson. Yeah, losing all the air out of the tires in that Impala. '87, the Intrepid getting spun around. Dagan Olson. And the bumper on the 37. Both bumpers getting torn off of that one. Danny James behind the wheel. All right, they're back into the infield. I bet we're going to go the other direction now. Greg's giving him the get ready sign with the green flag. Green flag flies. We are back at it. And they head to the left. Running counterclockwise around the Estevan Motor Speedway as the Enduro continues here this afternoon. Still a lot of cars in this. We started with, I believe it was 52 cars. I don't have time to count them right now, but we've still got a lot of them out there on the track. Maybe not the entire car left out there, but most of the car is still out there. That track is wet, especially down along the inside. These drivers trying to avoid that, running up a little bit higher where they can run faster. Sean DeBruyne and the number 1 coming back onto the track. Little easier to get on the track when everybody's going counterclockwise. Dean Wigley and that number 20, the big pink Bonneville, comes trucking down the front straightaway, and there's a chunk of debris. I don't know what it is. It's right in the middle of corner number 1. You can see these drivers hit it, and it goes flying up into the air. And I don't know if it came off of the number 20 or if it was laying there before he got to the corner, but it flew up as he went past it. Number 9 of Tommy Cron into the infield in his LTD. Makes his way back out onto the track. There it is. I don't know if that's exhaust. I would probably bet on a chunk of exhaust pipe. That piece of debris laying there in the corner. Uh-oh, trouble for the 51. Sean Boyce going awful slow. It's like Marge Simpson. Slow and steady wins the race. That's maybe a little too slow. Mike Zoner in his number 6 Mustang, trucking her around the track, running on the high side down the back straightaway. Wayne McKnight in that number 14. That car's hauling around the track too. Goes up high in corner number 3. Dylan Crozier coming out of the pits once again in the number 42. And he rejoins the race. 4 wide through the corners now. This 37 is hustling through the infield there. Danny James in that number 7. That's the one with the bumpers that are, I would say, about 10% still on the car. Sean Boyce in that number 51, sitting where nobody should be sitting in an enduro race. Look at that. I don't know if he's doing 0.5 kilometers an hour. Might even not even going that fast. Rear bumper coming off of Wiggly's Bonneville. I think they started with the plastic bumper cover taken off. It's just for cosmetic purposes. The actual bumper, or the rebar as it's called, is tucked in behind that, but now that's coming off of the number 20 of Dean Wigley. Hang on, little slippery between corner 3 and 4 as we get a couple of cars sideways. There's Dean Wigley's Bonneville, that number 20. You can see that back bumper working like a harrow as he goes down the front straightaway. Levi Hirsch in that 10 gets into it in corner number 4. Bouncing off the number 9 of Tommy Cron. Then the 45 gets caught up in it. Greg Miller. Miller, Cron, and Hirsch bouncing off of each other as they went down the front straightaway. It started in corner number 4, and I think they might be all over and done with it now. Brant Hudson in the number 55, hustling around the track. Car's looking good. Well, as good as an enduro car can be looking. The 44 giving the 51 of Boyce a little nudge. Sicaldo Peters in that cow-colored 44. Tommy Cron in the number 9 has an ill-handling race car. Whoa, we got trouble in corner number 3. Cron's going to come up on it. There's a mess in the bottom of corner number 3. The 36 got caught up in that one. Caitlin Alexander. Red flag comes out. We're going to stop this one. The 01 of Sean DeBrune. Still got his Nelson GM sticker on the back of his Grand Prix. His original paint. You're not going to mess with that. Having a chat with the 15 of Nick Martin right now. Let's look back and see what happened on that portion of the race. It's the maxTV local on-demand replay. Dallas Warner in that number 5 Monte Carlo sliding her sideways through the corner. Little bumping and banging as they come out of corner number 4. There's Warner again, about to get mixed up with the 21 of Mason Wigley. And that 37, that poor Impala of Danny James, the parts just keep coming off of it. Then Hirsch and Cron and the number 45 get all tangled up. Greg Miller in the 45. Cron in the number 9 and Hirsch in the 10. And then we put that one to a stop. Lined up in the infield once again. We're going to clean up that mess a little bit. There we go. Green flag drops and we are back at it, going clockwise this time. or as I like to call it, the wrong way on the Estevan Motor Speedway racing surface. Still, all those cars in this race, still going. Oh yeah, you see the speeds coming up now. That number 37, even though the bumpers are coming off of it, Danny James has got that car in goal as he's hustling down the back straightaway. Danny James in that number 37. How is that bumper still hanging onto that car? Three, 4, 5 wide, not a problem in the enduro race. Mike Zoner in the number 6, that blue and white Mustang, working his way around the track. The 30 is going to have some work. Evan Erdman in that number 30 is going to kind of go ahead and then turn around and come back. Same thing the 13 is going to do, Kyle Boyce, as they try and get back out on the track. The 51, Sean Boyce, that one's coming back onto the track, and away they go. Randy Gooding in the number 40 coming out as well. Pardon me, Brandon Claude in the 40. They're running the same colored cars. The number 26, Dylan Coffey. He's got the pink Chevy Corsica. Look out! Oh, man! That could have got messy. Parts flying down the front straightaway. Cars pulling out when it is unsafe to do so. You got a helmet on, you'll be fine. It's all right. Oh man, so much fun. Just under 60 cars started out this race. An hour and a half or 150 laps, whatever comes first. We've been racing them clockwise, we've been racing them counterclockwise. These drivers aren't scared to do a little rubbing and banging. Is it just me, or do they seem to run faster when they're running clockwise? Oh, we got trouble in corner number 2. Hang on. That looks like the number 21, Mason Wigley. Pardon me, the number 20 of Dean Wigley. The pink Pontiac Bonneville getting into it with the 29. I believe Trey Olson got in that. We're going to pile a few more cars up in corner number 2. Sicaldo Peters in the number 44, the cow-colored car, gets into it. We have got some serious bent sheet metal. I can't quite see the number on that car that's next to Sicaldo, but it got hit hard on the driver's side. The driver is moving around in there. It does look okay. Let's see if we can see what happened here on the maxTV replay. James off the track in that Impala. Bumper still hanging on to that one. He gets hit again, tagged in the right quarter as he goes through the corner. There it is, the number 33. That is, I believe it's a Grand Am. Colton Dodd. Colton Dodd in the 33 got hit hard a couple of times, and Colton climbed out. Seems to be okay, but it sure looks like that driver's seat is halfway into the interior of that car. Crazy. That would have been a couple of hard hits. The number 20 of Dean Wigley. Dean's climbing out of that Bonneville. Seems to be okay, but that car is a lot shorter than it used to be. All right, let's do this again. We send him back out onto the track. Counterclockwise this time. Still a lot of cars in this race, and that track is going to be greasy. They laid down a pile of water on it. Brandy Janicki in the number 8 out in front as they go into corner number 1 and slipping up high onto that track, trying to find a little bit of bite in there. Dylan Coffey in the big pink Corsica rejoins this group. That 41, that big black 98 Oldsmobile, James Pear, I can't believe that car is still going. I thought it got hauled off early in this race, but apparently they rectified whatever was broken on it, and it still continues to run. That is the, I want to call it the biggest car on the track. That is a monster. A couple of cars backed into the bottom of corner number 4. The number 9 of Tommy Cron, and I believe it's going to be the 40. Brandon Claude, that white and red Chrysler. Oh, that track is slimy, hey? Dylan Coffey sliding all over the place. Oh, hard hit down the front straightaway. And a little retaliation bump after that. Trey Olson, I would say, coming out the winner in that little melee. His arch nemesis is Roddy Mitchell in that number 46, the orange and white machine. Oh, that is slippery. That slows this field down quite a bit. Might make things a little safer and maybe a little more entertaining up here as we see cars going around all over the place. Brandon Claude in that number 40 having some serious handling issues as he does a 360 through corner number 1 and 2. Might be the downfall of a rear-wheel drive car when it's this wet. Yeah, still sliding around in that number 40. Trouble for the 18. Looks like we've got an overheating situation. Sheldon St. Denis. Sheldon pulled off into the infield. Visor up, and I think that car is done for the day. 4 wide down the back straightaway, making their way into the corner. These cars are covered in mud. Oh, the 26 of Coffee getting into it with the 41. That big Oldsmobile I was telling you about, James Pear, down in the bottom of corner number 2. I think those two are done for. Dylan Coffey in the pink car and James Pear in the big black one. They may be out for the remainder of this race. The good news is the more laps we put in with all these cars, that track will dry out a little bit, and we'll see a little more speed coming out of these cars. Cron spins out in the bottom of corner number 2 as well. Dylan Coffey and James Pear both piled out of their cars. Oh, we got a fire in the bottom of corner number 2. Pear's Oldsmobile, it's got a little flamage coming out of the hood. We're going to stop this race and put out that fire. We haven't had a fire for 5 minutes, so it's probably time. Let's look back at this. I guess we'll call it this heat, this quarter. It is slippery. Cron in trouble there as he slides down into the bottom in that corner number 9. Over the top in the number 45. Greg Miller having some handling troubles with that one. Number 40, speaking of handling troubles, wow. Brandon Claude, that car was not working well on this muddy racetrack at all. Roddy Mitchell getting spun out. He goes over the top. Alice Warner having some trouble with his number 5 Monte Carlo as well. Oh, Mike Zoner into the back of the number 28, and then the 18 tags him. 28 driven by Enrico Enru. And Cron again down into the bottom of corner number 4. The 26 of Dylan Coffey into Rob Pear in the number 41. Or pardon me, James Pear. And that's what stopped this race. We got a little fire happening there. Let's go. We release the hounds again. Counterclockwise this time with a track that is drying up a little bit. A little bit. The number 40 still not handling well at all. Brandon Claude. That car does not work well on a muddy racing surface. You can see the speeds are still not quite what they were before. Cars are getting spread out on the track, and I think we're getting a little thinned out at this point. Starting to get more drivers watching from the stands than in the infield. 4 wide going through the corners. And trouble with that number 40 again. Brandon Claude, I'm not picking on Brandon, but wow, that seems to be the entertainment on the track right now. Roddy Mitchell getting spun as well in the orange number 46. We have got a car down in the bottom of corner number 4, hung up on the tires, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, major stuckness there. That is the number 55 of Brant Hudson. Just gonna hammer on the gas and push his way out of there. Right over the tire, full throttle, why not? Whatever works. He's not really trying to save the car at this point. Just get as many laps as possible. Brad Hudson in the number 55. Black 45 coming back out onto the track. Greg Miller made a quick little pit stop. Will rejoin this race field. Taking a high side around corner number 1, probably the safe route at this point. You know, it's interesting track conditions when the cars are sliding all over the place because it's muddy, and at the same time we've got dust coming off of the racing surface. The number 7, the Vertex Resource Services on the field again. Jared Story in the number 3 around the high side, corner number 4, stayed on the track. That car is covered in mud. Cron in the number 9 sliding up the track, trying to find some traction. Oh, we got bumping and banging happen in between 1 and 2. Mason Wigley in the number 21 getting sideways. The number 44, Sicaldo Peters, getting involved in that one. That is one slick racing surface at this point. Vertex Resource Services, the number 7, into the infield. That bottom of number 4, that seems to be a vicious spot. That's where all the banana peels are scattered here today. Dagan Olsen in that number 87, the green machine, was getting into it a little bit with the number 9 of Tommy Cron, I believe. And that number 7 of Vertex Resource Services, that seems to be having some issues. I think he's got some traction trouble. Maybe the tire rubbing on the body. It's done. It's coming apart. There's smoke coming out of it. Dustin Schertl in the number 91, trying to gain a little speed in that Ford Mustang. That is a light car. 8 coming back onto the track. Brandy Janicki rejoining this racing field. Schertl getting sideways in the 91 over the top of corner number 1. Mason Wigley, I believe, slid over. They just narrowly avoided running into each other. We got Mike Zoner in the bottom of corner number 4. I'm telling you, if this was a game of Super Mario or Mario Kart, the banana peels scattered in corner number 4. That is one slippery section of this track. Four wide, there they are, running into corner number 3, starting to get spread out. Oh, little nudge. Mike Zoner gets some help from Tommy Cron as they come into corner number 4. 4 cars trying to fit where there's room for 3. Everybody get taken out. Cars all over the place. We got a mess down the front straightaway. And just like that, they're cleaned up and they're gone. We're still racing. Sheldon St. Denis in the number 18. Looks like he was ready to rejoin this field, but I don't know if the car's ready or not, as it's died in front of the grandstands and the entrance to the racetrack. There is a major chunk of debris right at the end of the front straightaway. And we've got a car dead at the other end of the straightaway, just coming out of corner number 4. Lots of things to avoid. Doesn't stop these drivers from bouncing off of each other. Dallas Warner in the number 5, getting into it a little bit with Grant Doobie. Doobie hits Warner again as they go through corner number 2. The left rear tire not doing so well on the number 5 of Dallas Warner. And some major negative camber there. The top side of the tire leaned in towards the inside of the car. Jody Markowski in the number 24, sideways down the front straightaway in that Grand Prix, gets it straightened out. One of the advantages of those front-wheel drive cars, sometimes you can just hammer on the gas a little harder and it pulls that car straight. Just about had a major incident coming through corner number 4. Oh, there we go. The number 91 of Schertl into the back of the number 15 of Nick Martin. Martin was sitting there. The car was dead at the top of corner number 4, basically the exit of corner number 4. Schertl came out of the corner with nowhere to go, and obviously not enough time to get that car stopped, and he runs into the back of the number 15 of Nick Martin. That is not a good place to be hanging out with those cars coming out of corner number 4, especially as this track dries up and those speeds get a little quicker through the corners. More bumping and banging down the front straightaway. Jared Story into the 17 of Kelly Warner. And a chunk of debris laying right in the middle of corner 1. Hopefully these drivers have all made a lap and they know what's going on with Schertl's car parked at the top of the exit of corner number 4. Dust flying down the back straightaway. Debris coming off the front. And there's parts and pieces and dust flying everywhere. Roddy Mitchell on the brakes as he comes through corner number 3. His right rear tire coming off of that number 46. That'll be a little bit of a traction issue, I think. Brendan Maas in the number 4 Monte Carlo. You can see how he's moved the rad to the back window. We were talking about keeping these cars cool, and that is one of the best modifications you can do. They stay out of the mud. We got damage happening in corner number 4. 17 of Kelly Warner getting into it. Mixed up with a big Chevy Impala. Those two cars are stopped, causing, oh man, we have got major obstacles as you come through corner number 4. Tommy Cron in the number 9 down on the bottom side. There's Grant Doobie in the number 2. That car looks like it's hustling around the track, weaving his way through the obstacles, coming out of corner number 4. Dylan Crozier in the big yellow taxi, the number 47, avoiding all of that. Pardon me, the number 42. Looks like Warner got away from corner number 4. That Impala is still laying there smoking right at the top of corner number 4. Kelly Jarvis in the 25. Making his way around this track still. We saw him make several pit stops here this afternoon. Jared Story and Dallas Warner, the 5 and the 3, coming down the front straightaway. You see the speed starting to pick up a little bit as they come out of the corner down the front straight. Roddy Mitchell, that right rear tire on that number 46 is gone. I think he's running on the rim now. Keep your eye on the 46. He's going through corner number 3. He'll be coming down the front straightaway. Look at that right rear. You see that car hanging down really bad in that corner. That tire is gone. No rubber left on that whatsoever. He's just running on the rim. Oh, he's got a little bit. It's flapping. Flapper wheel, not much for traction. Cleans the mud off the car though. We got a white Grand Prix into the stalled car, the number 9 of Tommy Cron. The Grand Prix backs up. Looks like he's still good to go. Be coming down the front straightaway. Number 24, Jody Markowski. Look out, we got a lot of traffic coming through that. Oh, the obstacle course in corner 4. Yeah, that could get messy. Look at the bumper hanging off of Kevin Dodd's number 35. The back bumper just blowing in the wind. Oh, we got trouble. Corner number 4, we're scattering cars all over the place. The 55 of Hudson got caught up in that one. Grant Doobie in the number 2 in it as well. And looks like the number 51 got involved. Sean Boyce. More and more debris ending up on this track, and the obstacles continue to pile up in corner 4 and the entrance to the front straightaway. If you stay out of harm's way, you don't have to make any pit stops, and you just continue to rack up those laps. That's actually the best way to get out in front in this race. Don't push that car too hard, so you still got a car left by the end of the race. And all 4 tires still on it, hopefully. Jared Story in that number 3, coming through the corner now. Down the front straightaway, chasing the number 37, Danny James. Tommy Cron in the number 9. That car finally fired up as it was laying dead in the water right at the exit of corner number 4. How is it still going? Did it just cool off enough? Did he try and find the right dance to do on the gas pedal to get that thing going? Whatever it is, it's working for a few more laps. Low trouble on the front straightaway. Mike Zoner in the 6, pushing that little Cavalier down the front. How about that right front on that number 39? David Aikman, the white number 39, running without a right front tire. Looking back on that replay, oh, it was a hard hit. Mike Zoner getting into that little Cavalier, and a beautiful shot by maxTV local on demand as that Cavalier backs down the front straightaway by the wall. Speaking of the wall, Trey Olson got into it in that number 29. There's the 17 of Kelly Warner. He's making his car just a little bit longer. That back bumper cover trailing behind, digging up the dirt. Front bumper cover just about equally as bad. Trey Olson got that 29 facing the right direction, but he's running out of tire. Bumper covers all over the place at this point of the race. Kevin Dodds, number 35. Somehow that one still hung on for several laps. I think somebody would have run over that and tore it off by now. Hasn't happened yet. Kelly Jarvis in the 25, squeaking out onto the track after a brief pit stop. Look at the right front on that number 39. There is no tire whatsoever on it. David Aikman, and still going around the track. Warner's right front coming off of the 17. There's Aikman going down the front straightaway on all 3 tires. Yeah, this is the point in the race where a lot of the cars are not going to survive. I don't even know how they made it this far. Hudson's left rear, that one's coming apart. The 55H. Man, that car of Hudson's, there's parts dragging all over the place. Trunk looks like it's bent open. Back bumper trailing behind. Front bumper dragging underneath. I don't know if it's the rocker panel or the rocker molding on the passenger side. It's all over the place. That green Impala of Trey Olson looks like he's down a couple of tires. Look at that left rear on Olson's. Just about going sideways. Looks like he's got rear wheel steering at this point, except it's got a mind of its own. Not even turning. How's that for harrowing up the track in an Impala? It's not a race car, that's a chunk of farm equipment at this point. Trey Olson, at least he's got his front two tires still up in that number 29. The back ones are not much help at this point. There's a beautiful shot of the left rear on Olson's number 29 Chevy Impala. Yeah, they never came with rear wheel steering. And that's probably the reason right there. It did not work so well. I don't know how he's keeping that car straight. Look at Brendan Moss in that number 4 Monte Carlo. Really starting to pick up the speed at this point as he's passing cars going around the track. Brendan Moss, number 4. You'll see him come by the grandstand this time. Seems to be working well at this point of the race. There's the number 21, Mason Wigley. I'm going to call it what's left of a Buick Regal, I think, at this point. So obviously a couple of weak points on these cars. Tires, definitely something you want to protect. Rear suspension, as we see on Trey Olson's car. Bumpers, definitely an issue. I think if you're going to run in one of these, you're probably better off pulling the plastic bumper cover off of the car so you don't have to worry about dragging around, or even worse, running over it and putting a hole in the rad, or maybe taking out a tire while you're racing. Number 40 still not handling like it should. Brandon Claude. I don't know if that's a Fifth Avenue or a New Yorker. You remember those things? Like that heavy, heavy velour interior. It's like sitting on a couch. Roddy Mitchell did a tire change. He's got a new right rear on the number 46. The 39, however, does not have a new right front. David Aikman still ticking off the laps, running on 3 tires on that car. Mike Zoner, the number 6 Mustang, running just a little bit quicker than the rest of this field at this point. The track starting to dry up, working better for the rear-wheel drive cars. Look out, just about, threading the needle down the front straightaway. The number 45 of Greg Miller getting up close and personal with the 21 of Mason Wigley. Just about was a huge incident down the front straightaway. Somehow found enough room for 3 cars where there was only room for 2.5. There's Mike Zoner in the number 6 Mustang, talking about him earlier. As he comes down the front straightaway, avoiding all of the, let's call it contamination at this point out on the track. We're getting close to the end of this one. Brandy Janicki in the number 8, still going strong in that black Grand Prix. Seems to be a good choice for this type of racing. We got a car limping around the bottom of corner number 4. It's a treacherous corner number 4. The checkered flag is in the flagman's hand. Any minute now, we're going to call this one. That car that was limping around corner 4, it's the 51 of Sean Boyce. That car's been struggling as this race has gone on, and it limps off into the infield. Hang on, the number 4, Brendan Moss, getting thrown through the infield. Still trying to get it under control as he goes into corner number 1. Got her straightened out now at this point. How is that 39 of Aikman still running around the track this fast? Just by doing a quick count, I think we've got about 20 cars left running in this race. That's some serious attrition. Started with, I think the actual number was 52. And we're running out of cars. Brendan Moss, that number 4, good speed out of that machine. Coming up beside Wiggly in the number 21. Aikman starting to slow down in that number 39 as he limps it up in front. Gonna land just about underneath the flag stand. And the 39 is done. I don't know if that's a safe place to park or not. I probably would have tried to get to the infield. Oh, we got a tire and axle flying through the field. Look out in corner number 2. Bounces off of the fence. The entire axle, wheel, tire assembly gone. One of the weak points in these rear-wheel drive cars. Oh yeah, flying out of the back. Look at it go. Actually gaining speed as it's going through the rhubarb, heading up towards the fence where it comes to a stop. That is out of one of these Chevy Caprices, and like I said, that is definitely a weak point in these cars. There's just a little C-clip that actually holds that axle into the rear differential. And when that clip lets go, that entire axle likes to leave the building. Checkered flag is out. We are all over and done with. We'll have to do a little math here and find out who got the most laps in and becomes the winner of the 2021 Summer Enduro race at the Estevan Motor Speedway. What did you think, ladies and gentlemen? Is that a good time? So much fun. We'll have to talk to our scorekeepers here and figure out who had the laps, the most laps at the end of this race. Wow. My last count, we were down to about 20 cars left in this enduro race. And some of them still had at least 3 tires on them, so that's not bad. If you're taking off, we thank you for coming out to the Estevan Motor Speedway and joining us here this afternoon. A gorgeous day for racing. Hope you had a whole lot of fun. We want to see you back again for our 2022 season. It's going to be so much fun. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to join us at the 21st Annual Awards Banquet for the Speedway, you're more than welcome to do that. Saturday, November 6th at the Estevan Exhibition Hall. Tickets are $40 each, or a table of 8 for $300. Talk to Tanya Turnbull. We'll have a live auction at that one. Always a lot of fun and some good stuff to bid on. Mason Wigley in the number 21. Limping that car back into the pits. How about that number 15, covered in mud, Nick Martin. Riding sideways on the forks. JS Truck Mart, thank you so much for providing the chunk of equipment to help us move these cars around. Well, that's it, my friends. The Enduro at the Estevan Motor Speedway all over and done with. All that we got to do now is clean up all that debris on the track and go and celebrate. Find out who our winner was. We thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for watching on maxTV Local On Demand.
If you have program ideas that you'd like to see on maxTV Local, email us at max.local@sasktel.com.